Red vs. Blue Restoration's first clip was uploaded on Apple TV, and it has some information that we need to discuss over.
Share with you. It's a super important message.
Immediately, we can tell that Caboose is no longer voiced by Joel, but the new voice actor who's been in the PSAs, the Death Battle, and the Q vs. A. Caboose is still in the Mark 7 armor with the Mark 5 Zeta helmet, as seen in the Griffin Simmons Q vs. A. I think most people wanted to see Caboose in the Mark 5B armor core with the Mark 5 helmet so that he looked similar to his older designs, but I believe this is to make him look more consistent throughout his appearances in the Halo Infinite Machinima art style.
I feel like this is a ploy. A ploy? A blue trap? You know, a plot?
A plot to what?
I don't know. That's why we need to be alert.
Alert for what?
We can see that most of the characters kept their designs from the Q vs. A. Simmons still has his cyborg arm, Griff still has a wide body type, but Sarge is actually different. He now has ODST shoulders and a shotgun shell wrist attachment. In the Q vs. A, Sarge used to have Mark 6 shoulders and no wrist attachment. The map that they're on appears to be High Power, which most fans were hoping would be Fragmentation because it's the spiritual remake of Valhalla, which was a spiritual remake in Blood Gulch in itself.
What?
It could be a distraction.
A distraction? A distraction. Oh, sure, Simmons. The one guy on the enemy squad is running a distraction so that the 0 other guys on his team...
Now this part is very interesting because Griff mentions that Caboose is the only blue team member in the High Power Canyon, which implies that Tucker and Washington aren't there and that Caboose is alone, and that has some very big lore implications on where the story is going.
Guys on his team can just sneak up behind us and catch us off guard. Is that what you're saying, Simmons? Oh no! Let's sound the alarm so that nobody else can be prepared for the nothing that is about to not happen! There's a gigantic tank behind us.
As we can see, a tank sneaks up behind Griff, which I believe is the grand return of Sheila, which we have not seen since season 14. This clip isn't the only thing I wanted to talk about, because Red vs. Blue Season 19 got some leaks last year. Now, this leaker was able to spectate the Machinimators using spectator mode, and was able to capture some of these shots we see in Forge, but due to Forge being bad in Halo Infinite, Sarge and Doc in these leaked images appear blue. What makes me inclined to believe that these leaks are real is that Sarge has the ODST shoulders, which weren't in the Q vs. A like I stated earlier, which means that they couldn't have taken the designs from the Q vs. A and just make their own shots. This person probably actually did see them in spectator mode through the Machinimators. The only thing that's only different is that Sarge doesn't have the shotgun shell's wrist attachment. Another reason why I believe that these leaks are real is that they show the High Power map, which is seen in the clip that we just saw moments ago. In Scene 3, we see Washington, which is using the Willow T armor coating, which I think looks amazing on him. We also see Doc, who, again, has the theater blue glitch going on. And then Dr. Gray, who's using the Calivano helmet, which I don't think really fits her vibe, but I think it still looks good. They're in a hospital, and it seems like Washington is getting a medical checkup by Dr. Gray and Doc, which makes me believe that seasons 15 through 18 are canon, because why would Washington be in the hospital if he never got shot in the brain? Maybe he had an injury before this scene. Again, it's a leak, and we do not know the full context to this scene, but I believe it's making season 15 and 17 canon, unlike what everyone else believes of them being simulations. The leaks show 2 Machinimator accounts. I blurred their names just in case, but the first account shows Carolina's look, which looks identical to the Q vs. A. I don't see anything unique or different about it. The second account, though, shows Doc, which is different from his Scene 3 design, because in Scene 3 he doesn't have any shoulders, but in this we see that he has JFO shoulders, so maybe he gains them afterwards or before. We have no idea. One thing that I like from what we know of Restoration is how each character has unique designs to them. Like Griff has a wider body, Sarge cyborg arm, Sarge ODST shoulders and shotgun shell wrist attachment, Caboose with his iconic Mark V helmet, Doc with his JFO shoulders now. Carolina's always been different. Washington doesn't really seem to have anything unique or different. But yeah. Anyways, that's all that I've got to talk today.